So what we would normally do is we would have the focuser connected to the shaft of the focuser controller, the stepper motor connected to the shaft of the focuser, and it's all connected. And what we would do is we would wind the focuser so that it's just about all the way in, and then when it's fully in, back it out half a turn and then clamp the stepper motor to the shaft, and that will become the 0 position. And you should have calculated from the PDF how many steps you need to move before you get to just about all the way out minus half a turn. So knowing that information, it's then time to set this up in the Windows app, and the Windows app is the best to do this. Alright, so we've set the focuser, it's clamped in position, it's half a turn out, so that becomes 0, so we'll set that position to 0. And for our focuser, which is approximately about 4.5 full turns from our 0 position there, let's just pretend that it's like 18,200 steps from that position. So then we would set that max steps. Now this value, max steps, shouldn't be altered from this point on. And in our calculations, we decided that we would use half stepping. So let's just turn that on. Now, that's basically all you sort of need to do to configure the focuser. From this point on, everything's fixed. So what I'll do now is I'll go through some of these particular options. You know that these are move commands, so plus 500 would move at 500. And the focuser, because it's connected and it's powered on, should have moved out 500. If it didn't move, then it would indicate that it's still at position 0, but it tried to go the wrong way. So that would indicate you would have to turn reverse direction on, reset this to 0, and then go plus 500. Okay, but mine actually moved the right way. So my position is actually 500, and I don't need reverse direction on. So step mode, you're not going to change again. This just shows you what firmware is loaded. The temp offset is a way of calibrating the temperature probe, and it remembers this. So for example, if I calibrated the probe and it was about 1.2 degrees out, I could type in 1.2, press enter, and then that's going to be remembered from that point on. And whenever I do a get command, it'll add 1.2 to whatever the temperature value is coming back to calibrate it to and display it on the screen. So TFT display, obviously this gives some extra time during startup, etc. And I'm not using that, so it's not enabled. The temp timer, this regularly queries the controller at a number of intervals to get the position and the temperature, and these can be displayed on a particular graph and data logged as well. So get position, very simple. Home position, very simple, should go back to 0 and stop once it gets to 0. And it's bombed because I haven't got the home position connected up. So what I'm going to have to do is it's wound its way back into 0, but I haven't got the home switch connected, so it just hard stopped anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it out like 500 steps, and I'll tell that to move out 500 steps. So that's just out about half a turn, and then I'm going to turn around and set that to the 0 position. Right, so there we go, and you can see here on the graph it's getting the temperature over time, etc. So let's just get rid of that. And most of the other buttons, I mean, they're all self-explanatory here. And the status message is being displayed. You can get the temperature at any time, of course, and disconnect. The jogging buttons allow you to move the focuser, and this best works. It's not going to change in because it's already at 0. So if we went out and then let it go, you can see that it's jumped up to 471. So this is best used at very slow speeds. It's not suitable for high-speed jogging, of course. All right, so let's just leave it there, and I'll come back and explain all the settings.